Bluey seems like the perfect family show, cheerful, heartwarming, and fun. But what if that surface happiness hides something deeper, something parents never notice? When you watch carefully, subtle patterns emerge in Bluey's world. Lessons, behaviors, and interactions that aren't just cute, they're loaded with psychological undertones. And once you notice them, it changes the way you see every episode. What if the reality of Bluey isn't as simple as it looks on TV? At first glance, Bluey feels like a simple kids show about imagination and family bonding. Every episode ends with laughter, a lesson, and emotional warmth. But beneath that comfort lies something more structured. The show isn't just entertaining children, it's quietly shaping how they understand relationships, authority, and emotional responses. That influence isn't accidental. It's carefully written, carefully framed, and subtly powerful in ways most viewers never stop to question. At first glance, Bluey feels like a simple kids show about imagination and family bonding. Every episode ends with laughter, a lesson, and emotional warmth. But beneath that comfort lies something more structured. The show isn't just entertaining children, it's quietly shaping how they understand relationships, authority, and emotional responses. That influence isn't accidental. It's carefully written, carefully framed, and subtly powerful in ways most viewers never stop to question. One of the most noticeable patterns is how conflict is handled. Problems arise, emotions flare, and then everything resolves neatly within minutes. That structure feels reassuring, but real life doesn't operate that way. By constantly presenting fast emotional recovery, the show may unintentionally create unrealistic expectations about how quickly issues should disappear. Children absorb patterns, and repetition builds belief about how the world is supposed to work. Then there's the portrayal of parenting. Bluey's dad is patient, playful, and endlessly available. He rarely appears overwhelmed, rarely loses control, and almost always turns mistakes into bonding moments. It's inspiring, but also idealized. Many parents quietly compare themselves to that image and feel inadequate. The show sets a high emotional standard, one that feels beautiful, but sometimes unreachable in real households. The emotional intelligence displayed by the children is also striking. Bluey and her sister often articulate feelings with surprising clarity. They process disappointment, jealousy, and frustration quickly and constructively. That modeling can be helpful, but it can also create subtle pressure. Not every child develops emotional vocabulary at the same pace, and comparison, even subconscious comparison, can shape how parents evaluate their own families. There's also a consistent emphasis on imagination as the solution to nearly everything. Play fixes sadness, games repair tension, fantasy resolves misunderstanding. While imagination is powerful, it doesn't always solve real-life complexity. The repeated message that play heals all problems may unintentionally simplify emotional growth, making it seem effortless rather than gradual and sometimes uncomfortable. Another layer appears in how authority is portrayed. Parents guide gently rather than command strictly. Rules are flexible, often negotiated through storytelling instead of discipline. This reflects modern parenting trends, but it also subtly promotes a specific philosophy about control and freedom. That philosophy isn't wrong, but it's influential, and influence shapes developing minds in ways that extend far beyond entertainment. Pay attention to how quickly misunderstandings dissolve. Characters rarely sit in discomfort for long. Apologies come smoothly. Forgiveness follows immediately. While that promotes kindness, it may also create the illusion that emotional repair is always simple. In reality, relationships can take time to mend. The show compresses emotional complexity into tidy resolutions that feel satisfying, but not entirely realistic. Even the visual tone plays a role. Soft colors, warm lighting, and calm pacing create psychological safety. That safety lowers defenses and increases absorption. When viewers feel relaxed, they're more open to internalizing messages without resistance. It's subtle, but powerful. The show doesn't force ideas onto you, it gently guides perception through comfort. There's also the economic backdrop rarely discussed. The family home is stable, spacious, and peaceful. Financial stress is almost non-existent. That absence removes a major real-world pressure from the narrative. While that keeps the tone light, It also presents a version of family life that feels untouched by external struggle, which isn't representative of many households watching. Friendships in Bluey are generally supportive and forgiving. Conflicts rarely escalate into lasting damage. That consistency reinforces a hopeful worldview, but it can blur the understanding that some real relationships require boundaries or even distance. The show prioritizes harmony, which is comforting, but harmony isn't always achievable without effort and sometimes difficult choices. Another subtle theme is constant parental availability. Work rarely interrupts emotional connection. Adults seem present for nearly every imaginative moment. While aspirational, it can quietly set expectations that full attention should always be accessible. In reality, balance between responsibility and play is complex, and not every parent can mirror that level of engagement daily. The pacing of lessons also matters. Each episode carries a clear takeaway, often wrapped in a heartwarming ending. That structure trains viewers to expect clarity. But life's lessons aren't always obvious or immediate. Sometimes meaning unfolds slowly. By packaging growth into neat conclusions, the show creates emotional satisfaction that real experiences may not replicate. It's important to clarify that none of this makes the show harmful. In fact, much of it is beautifully intentional. But influence doesn't require negativity to be powerful. Even positive narratives shape perception, and when something becomes a cultural staple, its themes deserve thoughtful examination, not blind celebration. Parents often praise Bluey for modeling healthy communication, and it does, but modeling also creates standards. When families inevitably fall short of those standards, guilt can creep in quietly. The show becomes a mirror, and sometimes that reflection feels polished beyond everyday reality. Children, meanwhile, internalize how problems are framed. They may expect creativity to instantly fix disappointment. They may anticipate that adults will always transform frustration into fun. When real life responds differently, confusion can arise. Not because the show misled them intentionally, but because repetition builds expectation. The deeper reality isn't dark in a sinister way, it's complex. Bluey presents an idealized emotional ecosystem, one where growth happens quickly and connection feels effortless. That ecosystem inspires viewers, but it also subtly reshapes how they interpret their own experiences. And that's where the conversation becomes important. Entertainment doesn't exist in isolation. Stories influence behavior, even softly. When millions of families watch the same patterns repeated weekly, those patterns become normalized. They quietly redefine what feels standard. So the real question isn't whether Bluey is good or bad, it's whether we recognize its influence. Do we appreciate it as storytelling while understanding its idealization? Or do we absorb it uncritically, allowing fiction to recalibrate our expectations without realizing it? Bluey remains one of the most beautifully crafted family shows on television, but beneath its warmth lies a powerful emotional blueprint, and once you notice that blueprint, you can't unsee it. The reality isn't shocking because it's negative, it's shocking because it's influential. Let me know what you think. Is Bluey simply wholesome entertainment, or something shaping families more than we realize?